you don't love yourself 100, one, you're not going to be very valuable to the people around you because you're always going to need them to fill a hole.
At the end of your life, all of your amazing accomplishments aren't going to be what you care about.
The process of becoming is 99% of the journey. And then once you get there, it's like, cool, this was inevitable. I should be here. My grandpa at the end of that game, he said, that was a good game, but don't let it be the highlight of your life. Am I going to die? And he's like, yeah, you're going to die, but are they going to have good stories to tell about you when you're gone?
If you go on there, you're trying to do it the right way and you're trying to look impressive, you're actually not doing what you're intending to do.
Internal motivation will carry you to whatever end goal that you are craving. But really, people just need consistency, and consistency wins.
That's because you're making it production. It's not. It's you on the internet. That's it. Welcome back to the Create with Kate podcast. I have an amazing guest in the virtual studio today. I have Brian Seibert, and Brian is incredible. He is a fitness coach. He's a gym owner and a speaker, and we are talking about all things personal development, marriage, divorce, and social media. We're even going to talk about like some potbelly pigs. So welcome to the podcast, Brian.
Thanks. It's great to be here, Kate.
So I would love to kind of start with your story, how you grew up and kind of what led you to wanting to be a coach. Because you were homeless, right?
Yeah, for a short time. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Oh man. It was, I mean, I'll be transparent. A lot of it was just by choice. Like a lot of my own problems were my own problems, my own doing. I think we all do that. But yeah, just didn't get along with my family. Both sides. So my parents were divorced. Just kind of tried to carve my own path and probably was a bit arrogant about life and thought I could figure it out. And yeah, chose the hard route. Sometimes you end up sleeping in a Honda Accord or on friends' couches. And that's, short period. I had a lot of good people in my life. So even through that phase, I got to see examples, blips of like, great people, just people taking care of people, irregardless of where you're coming from and backgrounds and those kind of things. But yeah, just chose a really hard path and then chose, always had work, always had jobs and those kind of things, but just did it. I was going to carve my own path and that path was going to be hard.
How old were you when you left?
So we did a ton of moving. So I actually went to like 11 or 12 different elementary school, junior high schools when we traveled around. Yeah. So like never finished a school year, which gift and a curse. We went to a million different types of schools. I was in private schools and gated communities. And I was also in, the only white kid in the room in every classroom in different schools, which is great. But you kind of learn to become a chameleon. And which is a great life skill later if you know how to like not manipulate people, use it for good. But yeah, we just moved around a lot wherever my mom was deciding to stay with or who she was going to be with. We lived in those environments and we moved around a
You had
bunch
a
in
lot of
Texas.
boyfriends?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. A lot of like,
That's probably frustrating for you as a kid.
yeah, you don't think about it too much as a kid. You're kind of in survival mode. You just grow up really quick. So I have a younger sister. And I just wanted to make sure that she was taken care of, so like you're an 8, 9, 10-year-old, whatever you are, to junior high, 13. Yeah, just taking care of your sister, like make sure she's okay. Adults would disappear for, I don't, get into the boohoo type stuff, but adults would disappear for multiple days, leave some money on the counter and you just take care of things, So like sometimes you go to, I laugh, but if you grew up in a sketchy neighborhood, you knew they had like deals. Totino's pizzas.
Oh yeah, I love
Yeah,
those.
so like, yeah, yeah, people do, but like not as like full meals for kids. When you're eating like a
Mhm.
Lunchable at night for dinner, you're like, we are not doing good.
Yeah,
So yeah, we do the 10 for 10 Totino's deal, and then you
yeah.
get like, this is terrible. There was a little like quick stop gas station, like a drive-through liquor store, not far from where we were, so we could get those Snap-Its, like the fireworks, 4th of July thing, kids throw at the
Yeah.
sidewalk, and then we get a Snap-It, and then they would sell you loose cigarettes, and it didn't matter, so you get like 3 or 4 loosies and some Snap-Its, and you like smoke on the way home and throw Snap-Its
And
as
you were
little,
like
yeah.
a kid?
Yeah, we little kids. Yeah, I mean, but everybody was smoking then. So like,
Oh
and I don't think my parents probably, my grandma certainly didn't know that, but
wow.
yeah, take $5 to the liquor stop and they would hook you up, which is fun for a kid.
That's crazy. So you were
Yeah.
just like walking to the store and yeah, helping so how much or what's the age gap between you and your
Yeah.
sister?
It's 2-year gap. Yep.
Okay.
So she's 2 years
So
younger
you
than
guys
me.
were
Yep.
pretty close in age then.
Yep.
Okay. So moved around a lot. Th When you say, though, you were just, like, trying to figure things out on your own, what was that about? What do you mean?
I mean, I think I don't know. I try not to speak for everyone, but I feel like we all have. I mean, I know you do have kind of a desire for more. It's like, ah, no,
Mhm,
I'm built for a little bit more. I understand. Maybe I have a skill set that could take me further. Um, and this is a huge point of emphasis for me when I'm working with like high school athletes because I remember how it felt. Some kids just have to jump through more hurdles than other kids.
mhm,
And I felt like that. I was like, man, everything I do, I'm gonna have to figure this out. I'm gonna have to jump through, 10 more fiery hoops than someone next to me, because I have to figure it out on my own, and you
mhm,
were going to. Like, there wasn't a point where I'm like, ah, no, I quit, I give up, I'm just not gonna do it. It's like, no, I feel like there's more for me here. I know that life has more. Um, I'm built for more and not arrogantly built for more, but like I can. And so you think about those things. All right, how do I figure it out? What are the necessary next steps? And now I think, well, if I can give some kid the path, the clear path, or like if I can help them skip some steps, I don't know. I could go on a long time about this, but people say that all the time. Well, why don't they just do this? Or like, why don't they just get a job? Or why don't they just try harder? Why don't, you know, well, we don't know where people are coming from and we don't know why that would be hard for them. And so trying to understand other people's situations, have some empathy and remember where we all came from, I think is super beneficial. But yeah, you're just trying to figure it out. I think you and I are still doing that, like we're just trying to
yeah.
figure it out.
Did you
So
have, like, a good example of what? 'Cause I don't know, it kinda sounds like you didn't maybe like you said, you felt like you were meant for more. Does that mean you didn't have a good example of what you wanted to be like in your life, or
Uh, yeah, I'd say that for sure. I think I can say I've had more examples of people that shown me what not to do than what to
okay,
do for sure.
right.
Yeah, I'm like I don't ever want to be that. Like I see
Mhm,
we spent some time with my grandma and we lived with her for a short time and they weren't together towards the end of his life, but my grandpa was an alcoholic and so he would come in all the time like raging up, and like you're a 10-year-old kid, what are you gonna do? Like you can yell at him, but you're not gonna fight a grown man.
yeah,
So like it's like I'm never gonna be that, or
mhm,
like um even my mom, like not to throw her under the bus, because she's still a mom and she did the best that she could. Um, but it was like, don't be that, don't bounce from thing to thing. Don't be lack of better terms, like don't be selfish in your pursuits.
mhm.
Just checking those boxes. Like I know that life should be different.
Yeah,
Um,
she was probably just trying to maybe she had it sounds like if she had a lot of boyfriends, maybe, like, there was a
mm,
self-worth issue, which I could
yeah,
relate to that, as a woman, because you think, "Oh, like, if I'm with this person, then I'm gonna feel whole." It's like and you never
right.
do. And you
Right.
can't even
Right.
attract the right person if
Right.
you don't fix yourself first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I heard a great thing the other day. It said, if you only love yourself 20% and
mhm,
someone comes along and loves you 30%, you're like, holy crap, that's a lot of love. It's way more
right.
than I love myself. But it's not even half. Like
Yeah.
if you don't love yourself 100, like you're not going to be very valuable to the people around you because you're always going to need them to fill a hole. But
Mhm.
two, like, um, it's always going to be a letdown. I mean, we both know that relationally.
Yeah, that's so true. Wow, that's good. I've not heard that. That's that's a good one. Cause yeah, that's true. Yeah, if they're 30%, you're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
wow."
this feels so good. I like, I'm
Yeah,
on cloud nine here. Yeah.
it's, like, below the standard, it's below
Right.
average, but you're
Yeah.
just like, "Wow, this is
Yeah.
amazing."
Like, I'm gonna take
Yeah.
this. It's so much more than I'm used to. It's like, oh
Yeah.
man. I mean, then we settle. Yeah.
Mhm. So, okay, so, like, that paints a picture. So then when you, so in high school then, were you an athlete?
Yep. That
So
was the
what
that was my unifying thing. Every school I went to, you just fit in with sports. It just
okay.
makes that easy. It's the universal language. I'm gonna
Yeah.
show up here. I'm gonna be good at sports. And because I had such a diverse background, like I was able to like I was way ahead of the game everywhere I went. And
Mhm.
so coaches obviously love that. Teachers love that. And coaches that are teachers um obviously give you a little bit of credit. So then you can kind of skate by in some classes because now you're an
Yeah.
athlete. So
Okay, so you and what were your sports? like
Uh,
of
yep. We did everything track. I was terrible at baseball, so I never did baseball, but track, football, basketball, wrestling. We dabbled in all of it. I took some dance classes for a while to
okay.
help with sports, those kind of things. Yeah, everything.
Okay. And then now you run, right? Like
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, I
That's
do.
like your thing.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I don't, yeah, it's not my thing, but I do it. Yes.
if it's not your thing?
No, I don't actually. This is shocking to everyone. I don't enjoy running, but I do enjoy being competitive, and I will die before I don't keep the streak alive. So I am.
Mm,
Today was 1,715 straight days running outside, uh, every day in the weather, regardless how I feel. So now I'm just
okay.
keeping the streak alive at this point.
So is this like runner's high? Is that like a thing?
No, it hasn't been for me.
Okay.
I wish that was the case. Yeah, no, I've had a couple runners lows, but I've never had a runners high. No. No, I don't get the endorphins. We do a lot of strength training and I do competitive. We've done competitive CrossFit and high rocks racing and all of those kind of things. So, competitive endurance events, triathlons, all that kind of stuff. I get juiced about that. But yeah, the running, I did 100-mile ultra marathon. This has been 3 years ago. And that was a runner's low for like 25 straight hours. You check the box.
Yeah. No, that sounds awful. I don't run, like, at all. I mean, that's why I'm like, "Is this true? Is this a thing? Runner's high?"
You might
But
find it. I don't know. Yeah, you might
yeah,
if you
specify
find
a
it,
certain
you come
run.
tell me how you found it. Yeah.
But I think you have to don't they say you have to run for a certain period of time or something before it kicks in?
Yeah, I think it's like, I mean, everyone talks about the second wind, and that might be what they're referring to. Like
Okay.
you go out and like you don't feel so great, and then you get, whatever your level is, you get a mile in and it starts to feel good, and then you get into flow. I've been in a flow state a couple times where I'm like, dang, everything feels good and I'm just crushing.
Mhm.
But never like, man, the endorphins are pumping and this is the greatest moment of my life. It's
Yeah,
never happened.
okay. Well,
I hope that happens for you. I
I
hope you
know
find that.
maybe one day. I mean, I'm almost 40 and, haven't run I did run a mile in school because
That
they
was gonna
make
be my question. When's the
but
last time you ran a mile?
I was probably 14.
Okay, that's
Oh,
awesome.
wow, that's pretty sad. Okay. Well, back
You're
to you.
overdue, Kate. You're
I'm
overdue.
overdue. I
Yeah.
really, yeah, should hit the
By
pace.
the end of this, I'm gonna have you signed up for a 5K or something.
Yeah,
That's
okay. Were you trying to kill me? Let's go back to okay, so sports.
yeah.
Let's keep it on track here. So that's sports was always your thing,
Mhm.
but then how did you end up like you've had this gym, this
Yep.
Anytime Fitness.
Yep.
Do you just and you have one location, right? Or
Correct.
multiple?
Yep. Yep. Just one.
Okay.
Yep.
So how did that start? How long have you had it?
Yep.
And tell us how you got into that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, been training my whole life. Been training since I was a kid. I always loved practice. Practice was always kind of my favorite because it was 90% of it. If you don't enjoy practice, I tell my athletes that all the time. If you don't enjoy practice, like you don't enjoy sports because that's
Mhm.
everything. And then everything that you do on the practice field makes the games easier. And then when the lights come on, it's just showtime. Like you just get to have a good time. And I always recognize that as at a young age as a young athlete. So I really love practice, and then I love training, and then naturally just kind of worked towards coaching athletes. Like people just naturally ask you, "What are you doing? What are you training? How are you training? How would I do this or whatever?" And I love the kind of the nerdy science part of that, like getting into how the body works and the functions and scientifically what's good for you. And then now that I'm older, I mean, I'm 41, so it's like, how do we age really well? How do
Mhm.
we perform at a high level for a long time? But anyways, the gym. Then I trained in the gym. Just was just a general gym member here for a while, and then I actually told the manager one day, I was like, "I'm going to take your job, just so you know. Like at some point, I'm going to take your job." And he laughed and he's like, "Ah, you might. Someday you probably will." Because he was like, he's in the office eating cheeseburgers and having food delivered, and like it smells like a McDonald's in the gym. And I'm like, "Bro,
Wow.
this is not how we do this." But he was comfortable, and the previous owners were fine with it, so it's like whatever. And I was doing just local construction work, but training on the side, working with people. And then I finished my college degree. I got a degree in just kinetics, exercise science.
Mhm.
Um, and then that led to that. And then before I knew it, I had that guy's job. So he left, I
Okay.
took his job, and then I ran this facility for 3 years. Kind of built a beautiful community of people, poured into it, and when the owner was ready to sell, he sold it to me. So now
Wow,
we've
that's
owned it.
pretty
This will be our 6th year of ownership here, and it's been incredible. So,
yeah, that's awesome. Wow. So you had been going there for how many years before
um,
you
probably 2 or 3 probably as a
okay.
member, and then I managed it for 3, and then, yeah, we've owned it for 6, so I've been here a long time.
Okay. All right. Well, who's I want to go back to the coaching. Who is your favorite coach and why?
Who's my favorite coach? Um, I don't, um I don't know if I don't know if I've ever had a favorite coach. They all kind of morph into the same person. We all know high school coaches, they're always some guy yelling at you.
Was
And
there one that like really believed in you more than another?
man, yes. Well, initially, so yeah, when I moved I don't know, the 15th time or whatever, when I got to a school in the 8th grade that I knew that I would probably stay at for a little while, I had played so much Pee Wee football. I was so far ahead of the game for the junior high athletes that I was competing against. I think the coaches were very excited. So the high school coach that was connected to the junior high school that I was with, um, initially, this old school shout out, Mark Fritch was the coach, such a good dude. But he was super excited about like, all right, I got a kid that I can like plug into the system right away. And then I actually got to play. I got to start my freshman year in high school. Um, and not like full on starter, but got to get some starter reps, which is super rare for a freshman. And did okay. I wasn't like Captain America, but I did okay, and I was a freshman. And that just kind of bled into that. And then he left, and then we had some different coaches come through, but they all gave me my shot, and they all campaigned for me. And then we had a track coach that was just incredible. We trained on a different level, and it wasn't so much that he believed in me specifically or us as a team. It was just that his technique and his dedication to his craft was so different. I really try to model myself after him. He doesn't know that, and honestly, I can't even remember his name. But
Really?
his his impact was felt, like the way that he coached. He's like, "We're gonna win." He was a manifester. Like he was a manifester before I ever knew what
Mm,
manifestation was. He's like, "We're gonna win state track. Like I'm gonna put you guys together, and in whatever order we need to do this, we're gonna train." And I remember like just the 6 main track guys, the faster guys in the team, we'd run in the hallways in the off season together when we couldn't go outside in the winters, and like his technique was just different, and he believed, and we won state. Um, it
wow.
we called it and we did it, and then at the end of that, also a moment that I really remember, which has carried me through, is it was kind of inevitable. He's like, I knew that we were going to do that. There
Mm,
wasn't a massive celebration. It was like, this is what we were supposed to do. Like, we're supposed to win state. I told you at the beginning, we did check the box, and now we get back to work. And it
yeah.
wasn't robotic. It was very loving and encouraging, but it was very business. And so I just carried that with me through. It's like when I decide to do something, like it's inevitable that that's what's going to happen. And when I get there, it's like, okay, cool, that was supposed to happen. And some people say, yeah, Brian, you should stop and maybe smell the roses a little bit longer. But the is the roses for me. Like, I love the process of getting to where it is. And I want to encourage, I say that again to my athletes all the time. It's like, you got to love the process. Like,
Mhm.
the process of becoming is 99% of the journey. And then once you get there, it's like, cool, this was inevitable. I should be here. Uh,
Yeah.
so,
Okay. Yeah, that's I love that because I do think that that is so important to like visualize it before
yeah.
it's happened. You have to believe that it's going to happen in order to get
Yes.
to show up in the behaviors every day, in the practice
Yes.
to
Yeah.
actually get to the victory. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
a lot of people miss that.
Tons of people, and people, I mean, we both heard the phrase, fake it till you make it, which I don't necessarily agree with. Cause like, if you're faking it, you don't genuinely believe it. Like, it's like,
Mm,
I'm gonna go through the motions. Like, I'm literally gonna fake this until I hope something happens. But like,
yeah.
if you are that thing and you really believe it from your core, people can feel it. It radiates from you. Like, you become someone who, when they enter the room, people are like, that person's supposed to be here.
Yeah. You know, when you said a chameleon, like you're
Yeah.
because you moved a lot and stuff.
Yes.
Um, one thing that kind of made me think of is like how so that is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing, right? Because I know, like for me, I used to kind of describe myself like that too, where I could go into any room, be with any types of people,
Right.
and I would fit in, like, because
Yep.
I would just be whatever they wanted me to be,
Right. Right.
which is like kind of bad because then you can really
Right.
lose yourself
Yes.
in doing that. Do you feel like you had that experience too? And how did you become aware of that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have to. Like, it's like, all right, wherever I step into, like, I belong here. And then that's the next thing, I belong here. Um, yeah, that's a journey. That's a journey. I don't know if I ever had like a specific moment that I would describe where like I knew, okay, this is actually who I am. Um, Definitely being grounded in um in my faith. And I've shared this story before, but um I had this was like a really grounding thing like to be, and it happened, and I'm lucky it happened at a young age. My grandfather, I had a really phenomenal football game. I did everything like you couldn't stop hearing my name over the loudspeaker, and I couldn't tell you who we played and all that. I'm not one of those like back in high school. I used to, I ran a 4.40. It's like, no, you did not, bro. But my grandpa at the end of that game, he said, "That was a good game, but don't let it be the highlight of your life." And it was
Mm,
like, okay. And then that just kind of like settled in with me. And I'm glad that I had that at a young age because it kept everything in perspective. So it's like, yes, I do know how to communicate with everyone. And yes, I can be comfortable in any situation, environment. You can drop me off in in anywhere globally, and I'm good. Um, but also like to be completely grounded in who you are, and like these aren't you don't get caught up in the moment is basically what it was. Like, don't let these moments decide who you are. Like, live in these moments, enjoy them, and then continue to be who you are. And so yeah, just think about that a lot. Like, all right, who do I want to be? Who is the person that I would respect in this situation, whether it be good or bad? Will I be proud of who I was today, tomorrow? And
mhm.
so those are just good questions, and I'm not like super introspective all the time about that. I stumble over things all the time. But uh yeah, answering those questions, always good. Good for everybody, really.
Let's talk about some of the failures.
Look at your
And
brain working. I like this.
yeah, I'm like, I need to dissect more. So let's talk about divorce because
Okay.
it's obviously a hot topic. I mean, I think I just saw something, what, over 50% of
Yeah, I
marriages
see
end.
that number all the time, like 50+%. All yeah.
Yeah. And so, and then it just gets worse and worse. Like second marriage,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know, 65, whatever, it keeps going.
Yeah.
Um, so, are you divorced yet or no?
Yeah.
You are
Yep.
divorced. Okay.
Yep.
And I'm divorced, so we have this in common. How long were you married? 15 years, you said?
Yep. 14 and a half. Yep. Short of 15. Yep. Almost
So
15
for
years.
somebody that's competitive, an athlete, a coach,
Yeah.
doesn't like to lose,
Correct.
how has that affected you?
Like, man, so yeah, initially, full transparency feels like total failure. Like, feels
Mhm.
like a total failure. Like, all right, what went wrong here? Like, surface level, you have everything going for you. You have you're a business owner, you're a coach, you're doing all the things you love. She's also doing all the things that she loved. You're helping each other to build and grow and push, and very excited about that. And people see that and they're like, "Oh, you have a great marriage, and you have the ideal life,
Mhm.
and blah 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 blah." You have all the things, um, and then it implodes, and then you have to think,
Did you
uh,
see it coming or no?
"No, no, I didn't." Like,
Okay.
yeah, for me, I was in a we're still in the build phase for me. Like, I'm still building something. I'm still growing this community. I'm still building this business. I'm still building my coaching stuff. Um, and I don't know, honestly, I don't know if that ever stops. And it's not that I'm unsatisfied, but like I said, some people want to stop and smell the roses, and some people the roses is the work. And I'm
Are you
probably one of
saying
those people.
like you were unaware because you were so focused on building?
Yeah, so I thought we were building together, and she wanted a pause.
Mm,
She was overwhelmed by the process.
mm.
And we talked a little bit about that, but
Maybe she wasn't
she
feeling seen because you were just
um
go mode or
I
something?
I yeah, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. Those are questions that I'll probably like never have an answer to. Yeah, she had mentioned, it's like you gotta take some time. You gotta back off a little. And I'm just so driven. Um, it's something that I maybe don't know how to do yet. So
Yeah, it
I'm working on
almost sounds like you don't know how to enjoy.
it.
You
No, so that's the thing is like I enjoy every part of my day, but what I think I don't it's such an odd thing to think because it's so normal in my head. Like the work, I love challenge. Like I love to be challenged. I've never had, and I'm so thankful that God has kind of blessed me in this way. Is that I will empty my cup, empty the tank every single day, and I've not woken up the next day not full again. Like I never wake up empty. Like I'll empty my cup and then the next day I wake up, it's overflowing again. So like clearly he's juicing me up, for
yeah,
something to go, like there hasn't been a point where I'm like, man, I'm exhausted, I'm overwhelmed, and I don't want to do this anymore. Like I've never thought that.
yeah,
And I very much love the work and I very much love showing up for people and being the consistent thing, like in a world of inconsistencies, like I'm gonna be that consistent thing. Um, and people need that, and so that's something maybe that I hang my hat on a little bit. People need that in their life, like someone that's going to show up for them. Because in my life, and I know that this goes back to childhood, I had so many people that didn't show up for me.
mhm.
So it's like I will never not be that person. So
And you don't have kids, or do
we
you?
don't. Yeah, no, we don't. Yep.
Did you want kids?
It was something that we talked about early that we just neither one of us were going down that road.
Mm,
So we just never
okay.
did. Yep.
Do you think you would ever have them?
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. Like I love kids. If there were, um, I don't know. I'm totally open at this point in my life. Um, I'm just like, I'm just leaving it in God's hands. I'm super
Yeah.
grounded in my faith. It's like if you want this for me, I've said this. We've had this conversation 100 times. He and I. If you want something for me, bring it into my life and make it clear because I'm thick sometimes. Make it clear that that's what you want, and if you don't, take it away, and I'm cool with that. Like I'm totally good with all of those things.
Well, I'm pretty intuitive, and I could see that happening for you. I don't know why, but I could like, you
You
could
see
meet
kids in my future?
I could see you meeting someone that's maybe, like, yeah, 30, late 20s, and you never know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm
I could
pretty
see
intuitive.
it.
I like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Ladies, if you're interested and you don't mind moving to the middle of nowhere, uh
Wow. That is not where I thought this was going. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
Yeah.
Um,
That's funny.
and if you like pigs, let's talk about the pigs.
Yes.
So it
Okay.
turns out you don't live on a farm after all. Is that
Correct.
right?
No, we live in the middle of a small town. Yes.
Okay,
That's funny.
so what's up with these pigs?
Okay, so my ex-wife grew up in that town, grew up in that area, and that's something that they always had was like they always had like a potbelly
Oh,
pig as a pet.
okay.
And so we had one previously, one male. He died, which is fine. I was like, all right, cool, we're maybe done with this crazy life. And then two rescue pigs came into our life. And so we've
Rescue
had them
pig.
since they were, yeah. So like they have things in the Midwest, which whatever, they have animal auctions. People go and buy, cows and things, but they also buy exotic animals, and it's such an odd thing. But
Okay.
so yeah, so she bought two pigs. She's like, I came home
Oh,
with two
great.
pigs. Now you're
That's
great.
great.
And
Uh, how much are pigs?
I have no idea what she paid for these
Oh,
pigs.
okay.
Yep. She just like two pigs. They were both females, and I brought them home. So yeah. So then we raised them, and now they're, man, they're over 4 years old, something like that. I couldn't tell you. It's 4 or 5 somewhere there. They weigh like 300 pounds a pop, and that's as big as they'll get. But yeah, it's just me. I justify it because Arnold Schwarzenegger has a potbelly pig as well. So
Oh,
like that
really?
makes it cool for me.
Yeah.
But they live outside and yeah, they're not in the house or anything, but yeah.
So she doesn't have you don't share custody of the pigs?
No, no. Yeah, it's just me. That wasn't negotiated ever. Yeah, I don't know. She just gave them to me. So I've inherited these two pigs, which probably wouldn't be something that I would have chose in a previous life, but here we are, and they're very funny and they're very smart, and like it's a funny talking point for sure when people find out. Like,
What are their names?
yeah, so the black one's Zooms, because she's just very fast, shockingly fast. And then the white
Okay.
one's name was Peaches. Yeah, so
Okay.
Zooms and Peaches. Yeah, ridiculous.
Do we know how long these pigs typically
Too
live?
long, Kate. They live too long. Yeah, I think if well taken care of, pigs live to be like 20 years old.
Really?
Yeah, but we're not going down that road. Like they'll be yeah, they won't last that long.
That's crazy. Who
Yeah.
would have thought? Okay. So so going back to like divorce, and so you probably met when you were pretty young. It's I
Yeah.
think
College.
thinking
We met in college. Yeah,
okay, you met in
college. Yep.
college.
So
Okay.
we were
And
together for around 18 years total. Yep.
yeah, so that's a long time, and a lot
Yeah.
of change happens for people, I feel like, through those years,
Weird.
like your 20s, your 30s.
Yeah.
Uh, and so it can be hard, I think, for a lot of people because if they're not changing together or at the same like rate or whatever, uh, they kind of grow apart. Do you,
Yeah.
do you feel like that was maybe something that you guys experienced or no?
No, I don't think so. Um,
Okay.
I don't think so. I think we just continue to build together. Like we were building things, and in buying a brick and mortar business was never really in our cards. Like it's not something that we wanted to do. But we'd built, I'd spent years building this community, and so it's like, well, if it falls into somebody else's hands, who knows what happens to these people? I mean, we have every walk of life that trains in here, and this is the sanctuary for a lot of people. We
Hmm.
have former addicts that are beating addiction through fitness here, and just so many things that are happening here. Friendships, people that like wouldn't have gotten opportunities in the community are now getting opportunities because they've been members here, and we've seen them change, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, all of the things. So it's like, well, we should take care of these people. We should continue to build this. So we owned that, which is great. She was doing financial planning, and so it's like, all right, how do we get you in a strong position? So yeah, in my head, we were just continuing to build together. And I'm thinking, and I would never say anything negative about her. I hope she has just an incredible life and finds what she is looking for, finds that path. But yeah, we were just like building together. So
So okay, so reflecting back, you really
yeah,
don't see it's a mystery.
Okay.
yeah.
Um,
Um, no, you're good.
sorry, my
Um,
phone was talking
no,
to
you're
us.
great. Dang. Yeah, I mean, there's always introspection. Like there are things that I missed. There are ways that I could be better. There are times where I could probably have, um, just sat. Just been
Mhm.
still. It's like, all right, I'm gonna be. I'm always very present. Like in every moment that I'm in, like I try to be very present. I'm a guy that's like, put your phone away. Like I get home at night. I'm not like I don't want to be on my phone, like I
Mhm.
want to be present in whatever's happening. And even with people in the gym and just in my life. And I don't want to miss moments. Life is so short. It's fleeting.
Yeah.
And we're living incredible moments. I say this all the time. Like you're the main character in your story. You got to do some main character stuff. So like could I have done that more? Sure. Could I have been better? Could I have been softer? Possibly, I don't know. But like again, um, these are qualities that I accepted her qualities as she was. I wasn't going to ask her to be different. I was going to support her along the journey. And then she knew who I was when we started, like, and I'm more disciplined than I've ever been. I was wild when we met, as you are in your 20s. You're
Yeah.
wild, and um, and I wouldn't say I got sober, but like I stopped drinking after some too much,
Yeah.
like kind of always took it too far. Um, and that's not something she was like, I wish you were a partier again or whatever. That was never talked about, but I'm definitely just uh, more disciplined in the last 5 to 7 years than I've ever been in my life. And I think it's a very positive thing, but I could see how sometimes that probably gets to be too much. She's stated, I could say this, she stated, like she said, I just wasn't built for the same type of life that you were, and that's
Mm.
okay, and that's okay. And I've said that too, it's like if you're looking for something slower or you're looking for something that um, isn't this pace, I'm never probably going to be that, and that's okay.
Yeah, what I see with a lot of high achievers is like this is a common struggle for them, and they're not typically with women that are also high achievers. They're
Yeah,
usually with like a more feminine woman that's kind of okay to like be at home and
right.
take care of the kids, that
Right.
kind of thing, and just support you in your mission. That seems to be what works for a lot of those couples. Um, But I don't know. Look, I'm learning too. I'm fascinated by relationships and the dynamics, but I do think, yeah, when you're a high achiever, it's you can almost like get so laser focused that you it does affect the relationships in your life, and it
Yeah.
can affect them negatively.
For sure. I mean, that's 100% correct. I see that in the same thing. I see that in all of the people that I find as examples. It's a lot of that. So
Yeah.
also those people go through. I mean, they're like built. I feel like I am like you're just built to handle pain differently. I know that I can weather storms that other people can't weather. And so I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of failure, and I'm not afraid to like try 10 things, fail at 9 of them, but that one thing is gonna be monstrous.
Do you
And I know that.
believe that having a good woman by your side makes a man more powerful?
100%. Yes, 100%. You're good for each other. I always like you're always, a safe space, a provider, a platform from which she can jump out into the world and feel
Mhm.
safe. Like you always like I have somebody in my corner that's gonna have my back at all times. And then me too. Like I want that. I want that in my life. I want somebody who's like, um, I don't need a witness to my life, and I don't need like someone constantly cheering for me. But man, it's nice to share something with somebody who understands who you are, and they're like, "I get it, I know, and I'm here, and I got you."
Yeah.
Um, those are such powerful things.
Yeah, totally. And I think that yeah, at the like I mean, you know this. At the end of your life, all of your amazing accomplishments aren't going to be what you care about.
Correct. Yep.
So,
Correct. All the medals hanging on the wall and all the things. Yeah, and I know that now. Like honestly, like none of that stuff matters. Like you
mhm,
get a belt buckle at the end of running that 100-mile ultra marathon. Great. It gets dusty on a shelf. Like,
yeah.
but did we create memories along the way? Are we different people because of that? Did I show people what's possible? I hope
Mhm.
so. Like I love that. I love that quote. I posted on that before of quote from Peanut Butter Falcon, that movie with Shia LaBeouf, where it's like, am I going to die? And he's like, yeah, you're going to die, but are they going to have good stories to tell about you when
Mhm.
you're gone? It's so powerful. And then he finishes that like aggressively, like, don't be a bitch, let's go, and
Yeah.
it's like, keep moving. And it's fact, I get that. And so, yeah, you want to share things with people. You want to have deep, meaningful connection, and I have connection all day long with people. Like I'm
Yeah.
celebrating people all day, and I'm encouraging them, and I have like a spiritual gift for seeing what's possible with people before they
Mhm.
ever even know what's possible. It's like, ah, yeah, you can do that. I know you can do that. People ask me, can you think I can do that? 100% you can.
Yeah.
And I'll help you get there. But you want something deeper than that. At the end of the day, all of those connections are incredible, but they require something from you. And so you
Mhm.
want to have somebody in your corner that's like, I don't need you to bring me anything. We're just going to like soul feed off each other kind of thing,
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really important, but I also know, like, in order to have that, uh, you have to be vulnerable and
Uh,
open up, and in order to have that type of
Yeah.
connection,
Yeah.
because, otherwise you have, well, you it's just more of an attraction, probably
Yeah.
like a physical attraction,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that's w y it only goes so deep.
Correct.
So,
Yep. I
um
think I think I do that. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I do that well with one person. I'm like grossly loyal. Like, and I will tune out the rest of the world for that person.
mhm,
So like everything that I have becomes a little bit more surface level. The training clients and those kind of things. Like I invest deeply in people, but it's going to be secondary to the person that I am with always.
mhm,
And I do that with my ex-wife as well. Like everything else, I'm not taking. No female client's going to get my phone number. No one's
yeah,
reaching out to me. I'm not following people on social media that would want to reach out or anything like that. Like it's like fiercely loyal. So yeah, so I have that for one person. Like, and I know that I'm built for that. Like the deepest connection with one person.
yeah. When was your divorce?
It's been what, 2 weeks now. So I
Oh,
mean, we've been going through it. Yeah, super. Yeah. So we've been working through it for the last
okay.
9 months worth of that, and
Yeah,
then just finally finalized. These processes take way
it
too
takes
long.
a while. I
Yeah.
know. It's, um, yeah. At least you didn't have kids, though. That's a good part.
Correct. I hate that for all kids going through that.
Because that makes it more complicated. Okay, so what is so you wanna do a TED Talk?
I do. Yeah, it's a bucket list item for me. Yeah.
Or no, you're going to do a TED Talk.
There you go. Now we're talking. I'm going
Yeah.
to. Yes, I'll be on that stage at some point. I already have the 18 minutes mapped out. I'm good to go.
Do you?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like,
Okay, what is it? Give us, like, a preview.
yeah,
What is
it's just internal motivation. Like we all have it. We think we don't because self-doubt creeps in, but internal motivation will carry you to whatever end goal that you are craving. Um, Super brief synopsis of that. Like we all have it. We just bury it out of fear typically, but we
mhm,
bury it.
okay. You I guess more to come on that. Uh,
100%. I got to save it for the stage. Got to save it
yeah,
for the
we'll
stage.
save it for the stage.
Yeah.
Tell us about this 90-day, what
Yeah.
is it called? 90
Yep.
day what?
The 90 days, no days off program. 90 days, no
Yeah,
days off.
90
Yep.
days, no days off. Tell us what that is.
Yep. So, people have a hard time getting started. Like people have a really hard time getting started towards like health, fitness, all these things. There's so many barriers. Also, there's so much information. I mean,
Yes.
so much, and it's always conflicting. Should I do this? Should I do that? Where do I start? And most people just need to move. Like it doesn't need to be crazy. You know, we build these wild fitness programs, and people, you know, P90X was big back in the day, and we have million apps and all of the things, right? But really, people just need consistency, and consistency wins. I mean, we all know this. If you do something 1,000 times in a row, or 90 times in a row in this case, like you will have made progress. I mean, it's impossible not to if you stick to the program. So I started with just running a mile outside every day. This has been 5 or 6 years ago at this point. And then it just stuck. And then other people kind of got on board. They're like, I can do that. I can do a mile every day. I can walk it. I can jog it. Um, and then they lost 30 pounds. And they're like, how did this happen? And it's like, you were moving, you know, you got 10,000 steps in every day. And then you start to make different decisions. So now it's like, I got to hydrate. I don't want to feel old and dry. I got to hydrate. I have to eat a little bit better. And then they just start, and it's just a cascade of things that happen that transform people. They start sleeping more, or they prioritize movement. Like I have to get up early because I have to get this mile in. And really, once you get a handful of days on a streak, you're like, you know, the mouse in a wheel. I got to keep the streak going. Like I have to keep
Mhm.
this alive. I can't start putting one on the board again hurts your feelings.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, so I'll build a program around that, like this simplicity of consistency for progress. And so it's a 90-day program. There's a daily check-in. You ask yourself 5 questions. How much sleep did I get? How many hours of sleep did I get? Did I have any alcoholic drinks? Because a
Mm,
lot of people don't realize how much they're actually drinking. That I
mhm,
drink, and it's fine. I'm not against drinking, but people drink on a daily basis when
mhm,
that could probably be scaled back just a bit. So that, well, it's my current stress level, just a 1 to 5 rating, super basic. Did I eat processed sugar? So now
mhm.
you have to kind of pay attention.
That's
And
my
again, I'm
problem.
not everybody, man, and they're drinking it, they're eating it, all of the things. And if we can just kind of limit that intake, it's life changing. And then the last one, did I get my mile in? Yes or no?
Mm,
And that's a daily text they get from me. And so you get your mile in and then it progresses. So the first 30 days is just a mile a day. I don't care how long it takes you, but you're going to answer those questions. And then once people start answering those questions, though, they're like, we'll put it in a spreadsheet and see, like, all right, so these days your stress levels were really high. You also drank, you didn't sleep, like all of the things. So then we can start paying attention. I mean, if you don't measure things, you have no idea what's actually happening. It's business, it's fitness, it's everything. And I do all of that for them, but they start paying attention to it. And then the next block of 30 days, we up the questions. Did you eat processed sugar and why? And
okay,
so now
and
yeah, and why? And now we're thinking through like, why did I do that? Because I was bored or
mm,
because I had an event? You know, some people will text me and they'll be like, I had a cupcake because my kid graduated. I'm not sorry about it. It's
yeah,
like, great, that's life. But then they're thinking about finding the balance. And
right,
then the last block of 30 days, days 60 through 90, 61 through 90, we add some strength training in because they're ready for it. And so they'll do some body weight stuff. So did you strength train? And we try to train 3 days a week. And then you try to 10,000 steps is the minimum requirement for that. And then if you want to go more on the miles, typically people do, they're ready for more. They go further. We chart all of that. But if you miss one day of the mile is the only thing that matters. If you miss one day of the mile, you start over at zero.
Oh,
And so
okay.
you will repeat that 90 days as many times as necessary until you check the box on 90. And typically it only happens one time. Someone will get 12 days in and their day will get busy. They think it's busy,
Mhm.
it's 12 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of your life, So then I have people, they're like, I messed up. And it's like, no, you didn't mess up. We learned. Like,
Yeah.
where you can program it now. And then they start over. And typically, I actually not typically, I've never had someone start the program twice. They
Oh,
make it the
wow.
whole 90 the second time. Yep. So, and at this point, I've had probably close to close to close to 200 people do the
Wow.
program. I have people on day 1500 or 3 years in. I have people on that started early. I have people on day 600. All of my trainers are doing it. They're on day like 700 plus. They started. Um, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's pretty
Wait,
great.
how many steps this might be a dumb question. How many steps are in a mile?
Depends on how tall you are. So for
No.
you, it's
For
probably going
me,
to be
a
like
lot.
thousands of steps. Yes, for somebody who's taller, it's anywhere from 1,200 to 2,000 steps. So you still got to
Okay.
move quite a bit throughout the
Okay.
day.
So,
Yep,
like, so 1 mile really isn't that many steps, like, if you
yeah,
think about it in that perspective. Because,
correct.
like, yeah, if you're wearing, like, a Fitbit and it's
Yep,
what, 10,000 is your goal usually?
yep, yep.
So, okay. That's a
Anything for regular people, anything over 5,000 is incredible. If you can get over
yeah.
5,000 steps in during the day, especially as sedentary as everyone is,
Mhm.
uh, you're winning. But man, if you can hit 10,000, you're changing your body type.
Yeah. Okay, that's really cool. So how does somebody join this program? Is this just this is there's a link I think in your
Yeah,
Instagram?
yeah. So you can buy it on my Instagram. It's $20. It's like 19
Wow.
bucks. It's fully, so that one is self-guided. So you'll get the whole program. I do frequently asked questions at the bottom of that. My contact info is there. If somebody really wanted to like get deep into that and so that one doesn't include the daily text. You're not going to get a
Okay.
message from me. You're just going to journal. If you want to, then you can message me. I just DM me and then we can talk about actual one-on-one coaching where I'll send you the text every single day. And then that's where I put things into the spreadsheet. And typically at the end of the 30 days, we go over that.
What does that look like if they wanna
Uh,
hire you for one-on-one?
yep. So we always say the same thing. It's fully customizable. So it kind of depends. If we're just doing the 90-day program,
Mhm.
and we do the 3-month block, it's $1,200.
Okay. Still
And
really reasonable.
yeah, I try to keep it within reach for people because really this is just consistency.
Yeah.
I'm not building any new programming for you. Like you have the programming, everything you need, all the questions right off the bat. You just get access to me and we chart it. And so we can talk about this is why you feel this way. This is
Yeah.
why you're having a hard time. This is why your joints hurt because you
Mhm.
ate processed sugar 7 out of 7 days. You drank every night and you're not sleeping well. Well,
Mhm.
we know why. So
Yeah.
habit
That's
change. It's just habit changes.
That's crazy. Yeah, I stopped drinking alcohol 3 years ago, and, oh my gosh, my I sleep way better.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. My skin is better. I feel like I
Yep.
look younger. Like
Yeah.
it is so terrible for you to
Yeah.
drink.
The science is coming out. It's like similar to smoking. I'm still surprised I still see people outside smoking. It's like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? Like we know, and I get addiction and those kind of things, but man, you're choosing a long journey through some healthcare process when you're doing that. And it's the same thing with alcohol now. Like we're seeing a
Yeah.
lot of.
Yeah, well, it's so socially accepted, but
Yep.
it is changing now, like, people are
Yep.
starting to, like, wake up, but, I think, yeah, that's just it's everywhere, right? It's at every
Yep.
special event, all the things, and
Yep.
so people
It's the
just kind
same thing with eating, like we're social creatures. So like we're just gonna
Mhm.
eat instead
Yes.
of like being active. It's like, oh, we'll just sit and eat.
Yeah.
Especially in this area, you know, that's
You mean, like,
that's
where
what
you
we do.
live?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. If we're
It's
not
not
eating together, we're not probably hanging out.
What are, like, the spots in your
I mean,
area?
there's some great restaurants here in town. The downtown in Norfolk, where the town where I live, is incredible. I mean, there's new
Okay.
restaurants all the time. There's, listing them Black Cow, Fat Pig, and 411, and all these places that bring in
Those
like,
are the names?
yep, like Black Cow, Fat Pig, yeah. or Fat Pig, Black Cow, one of the two. He's gonna be mad that I messed that up,
Messed
but
it up.
that's a
Yeah.
phenomenal restaurant downtown, and I mean they just do a great job. And there's just a handful. There's some really great coffee shops downtown district. There's yeah. So, but it's based around restaurants. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna sit and eat and we're gonna drink, and we're not gonna probably have a running club on Saturdays.
Mm.
So
Do you do, like, events at your gym? Like,
yeah.
you
Yep.
host okay.
Yep, we do a lot of stuff. The biggest one of the year, we do Memorial Day. You familiar with the Murph workout?
Mm-mm,
So named after Lieutenant Michael Murphy. He was one of the lone survivor. You've probably seen that movie.
mm-mm.
Oh, Kate, what are we doing?
I
I'm
just
gonna send you. I'm gonna
I
send you a movie list here. So you're
I
gonna
know,
cry.
you do need to send me a movie list because there's quite a few that I don't know about.
Oh yeah,
Um,
well, we connected on Meet Joe Black though, so that's
I know,
enough.
I'm like,
Yeah,
that is definitely, on my list of favorites, but
yeah,
that's, like, a love story.
hundred
Anytime
percent
any
deep.
love
But
story, like, I'm into. Yeah. That's
dude,
deep.
that movie is deep. That movie
It
has
is.
so much extra. It's life. Yeah,
Oh,
don't
no,
get me
there's
started on that
definitely
because like
angles
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, so
And then
we do a
Murph.
Memorial Day Murph, and so the workout is if you want to wear a weight vest like a flak jacket, you can. You run a mile, you do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and then you run another mile. And
Oh,
so it takes anywhere from a half an hour to an hour and a half or 3 hours, as long as it takes people. But yeah, we have a DJ, we have catered food, we have people barbecuing out back, we have a couple hundred people come through. We set up a 40-foot pull-up rig outside, so the whole thing's run outside. It's just
wow.
an incredible. We all run the event at the same time, so we all take off at the same time. It's become one of my favorite events at the gym, but it just gets bigger and bigger every year, which is cool. So, and we get to honor our fallen soldiers on Memorial Day with that. So we do it on Memorial Day, which is it's so fun.
Awesome. I used to I actually managed a fitness studio, fitness slash yoga studio,
Yeah,
and I trained all of their franchisees at the corporate
yeah,
office. But have you heard of True Fusion?
yep.
Okay, so that's who,
Okay,
I
yeah, cool.
worked for. But anyway, point to that was we would host events, and I loved that part of it because we bring the community together,
Right.
these
Yeah,
different vendors and just, like, get everyone, um, together to, like,
yeah.
grow and be better, and I loved that part of it, when I was, in that role.
Such good energy with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and just, like, how to improve, like, the overall experience,
Yeah,
even because okay, yeah, you can be a great trainer. I mean, I'm not clearly, I don't know a bunch about fitness, but, I understand the concept. You can be really great at
you
training,
know. Yeah,
but
you know.
it's so much more than that. When
Yeah,
you're owning a gym, you're creating an entire experience for people,
yeah,
so if you can bring the community together and then keep retention high
yeah,
because of how
yeah,
you treat these people, that's really what it's about, which it sounds like that's what you love to do.
yeah, yeah. You
So,
take care of people. This becomes their home.
yeah, so how do you like, can you speak to some of those numbers real quick as far as, like, where the gym was when you took it over? Well, I guess you were already managing it, but so
Yeah.
maybe when you stepped in,
Yeah,
uh
I would. So like we're on the bounce back because COVID sucked. Like
oh, yeah,
COVID
that's right.
sucks for everybody. Yep. So I
Wait,
will
were you
speak.
the owner then?
Yeah, we just bought it. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, no. How'd you
yeah.
overcome that?
Yeah, so that was tough, but we just continued to serve. You just like, how do we make this situation useful? Yeah, so we owned it for about a year, and we were rocking like highest numbers we've ever had. Brand new facility because we went from a 3,000 square foot to a 7,000 square foot
Oh my
facility,
and
like
then COVID.
rocking. And then COVID happened, and they're like, you're gonna maybe have to close. And I was like, we will absolutely not close unless they like force it.
Yeah,
So all the other gyms in town closed. And I was like, I'm not going to close because they didn't tell me I had to.
yeah.
We'll just step our game up. So we were checking state protocols every single day. We could have 10 people in the gym based on our square footage an hour. And so we set up a reservation um, and people had to reserve their spots. And so we had to check everyone in. We had to check everyone out. We were staffed basically 24 hours a day. Like we lived here. We were staffed. I had
Mm.
two trainers, myself, and then what was my wife over. And we just lived here. And we checked people in for a year and a half. And we just continued to check people in. People were super gracious. They were just happy we were open.
How many
Um,
people canceled though?
um, we did it, a handful. Really, it was
Not
like
like nothing crazy significant.
probably less than 30.
And
Yep.
but and the membership, just for
About
perspective, is how
yep.
much?
It's $50 a month.
Okay, so it's
Yep.
on the lower end for
Correct. Yep.
attendance.
We just try to stay reasonable for the area. What's comparable? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so and did you ever take it virtual with classes or anything?
Nope. We just we looked at that option, um, but we didn't. It's like we're just going to continue to check people in until they tell us to close or we can fully open, and then they kind of loosen restrictions as we worked through that. And the scheduling just was perfect. People were
Yeah.
so gracious, and so we were able to have, like I said, 10 people, and then we were able to have 15, and then that grew a little bit, and then we were back to regular. So, but it was man, we were sleeping here. It was a
Yeah.
grind, but we didn't ever want to close our business because you don't know, it's undetermined. When are you going to open again? There's
Mhm.
too many unknowns. Um, and then two, we had a lot of other gym members, members of other gyms reach out to us and try to come through. And there's that moment where you're like, all right, like you're not a member here, and I'm gonna make some money off of this because we are the only game in town.
Mhm.
And we opted not to do that. So
Mhm.
unless those members became full members here, we just didn't take them,
Okay.
out of respect for the members that we currently had, because they were going to take slots. And so
Yeah.
you got 10 slots an hour. I'm not going to give away. So I think people appreciated that. Like we did our best to take care of them through the whole thing, and then yeah, we made it through. We're still here. So
Do you sell annual memberships too?
yeah, so we do month, 3 month, year, 2 year, kind of what we base it off what people are looking at.
Because
Changes the pricing just a bit.
what would be an annual?
Yep. So if you did a year, it'd be like $800, $700. So
Okay. I
yeah,
remember when I was at True Fusion, we used to always do this like Black Friday
yeah,
special where we would sell the annual, and that was like those were so
yeah.
successful.
Yeah, we used to do all the time. We used to do the New Year's, like, join for $1, and then, like,
Mhm.
all the special stuff, and, like, seasons have just changed now. It doesn't quite work that way. Everyone always thinks like, "Oh, gyms in January are gonna blow up," and, that hasn't been the trend the last few years. It's more like March, April, or, like, towards the
Okay.
summer.
Yeah.
People are thinking about, like, "Holy crap, I'm gonna have to go outside with less clothes on."
Right.
So,
But like,
I need to
is this did are we what season are we in now? Does it slow down
This is
now?
yeah, this is fall, so it'll be a little bit slower now. It's back to school. Everyone
Yeah.
August, September, everyone's, football and that kind of stuff.
Interesting. Okay. So, to wrap up, because I think, gosh, we're already at like an hour, but just real quick, let's talk about social media and how
Yeah.
long have you been doing that?
Yeah, so I started posting my runs. Like, I didn't do a lot with social media until I started running every day. And then I was like, I'm gonna keep the streak alive. I love photography, but I also love the accountability of it. It's like I'm gonna post every day the run. So
Mhm.
I started doing that, and then it kind of started to morph into like people are noticing, people are paying attention, and then obviously it becomes a platform where you can encourage, can communicate, promote all of those things. So it's probably been 5 years where I'm really using social media, and then in
Okay.
the last year, 6 months probably, where I'm like really using it to promote coaching and what we're doing here, and to honestly like to cathart
Yeah.
sometimes. So yeah.
No, I saw this guy actually talk about that the other day. He's like, you know what? Forget about strategy. He's like, throw it out the window. He's when I started to grow on social media, he said, I didn't think of my ideal client
Yeah.
avatar. He goes, screw
Yep.
that. I was just giving myself advice.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I mean, you've seen some of my stuff. I've been
Yeah.
crying on the internet way too much lately, but um yeah, it's like I'm talking to myself. And most of the times I'll watch that back and I'm like, okay, if no one else, but here's what's crazy about that, and you know this because it's what you do, and I appreciate you so much for like coaxing this out of me,
Hmm.
is people need it.
Yeah.
People need that genuineness, and people need that authenticity, and people need, pain is an adhesive, and people stick to it, and it's drawn people in. I mean, even this morning, like I posted something and I'm talking to myself, like remind myself that like
Hmm.
I gotta author my own story here,
Yeah.
regardless of the fear and what people are gonna say. You gotta author your own story. And people message me right away, like I needed to hear that today.
Hmm.
And it's like it's so good, you know? So what you think is just for you is probably resonating with all of the people around you and strangers as well. We're all going through it.
Yeah.
Um,
It's true. No, we are all going through something, and what I hate about social media and how it can make people feel very isolated, because if it's just look at me, look at everything that I've done, look at my perfect marketing strategy. People feel disconnected. They feel like they can't measure up, and you're not inspiring anyone, which is
correct.
why I believe all these people, their intention is to help people.
Right. I
So
agree.
if you go on there and you're trying to do it the right way and you're trying to look impressive, you're
Mm,
actually not doing what you're intending
right.
to do.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
100%. And people tell me that, like, bro, you were a robot before. Like, cool, you're a robot. Like, you're going to go out there and you're going to run. And we know this. And like, we're going to
You're
see
gonna
it.
go
And
out there
like,
and you're gonna run.
yeah, like nobody cares, bro. And so like you start sharing things and then people are like, "Oh, wait, Brian has some feelings about this, you know?"
Yeah.
Um cuz I said this to you. It's like I don't think what I have to say matters because I'm not saying something new, but you are saying something new because
Mhm.
your perspective on what is happening, even if it's happened to 1,000 other people, is completely different. And how you're going to overcome it and how other people can overcome it. And if you can make it through, other people can too. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been good. It's actually kind of fun. Like think about the messaging and then just freestyle. I try to two take everything. So like if
Oh,
I'm
what do
gonna
you
do
mean?
it, like I'm only taking two takes. Like because
I like that. Okay.
that's the most genuine one. Like and
Yep.
it's typically the first one always. Like I'm not gonna refine this. You know, it's like, oh man, I stumbled through that word. Who cares?
Mhm.
Post that one. Like, because I'm trying to be crisp, you know, and you want to be eloquent and you want to say the thing, but
Mhm.
sometimes that first take is like the most raw when you
Yeah.
process your emotions. And so you just put it out there. And then it's like, all right, edit this, be done. Two takes is
Yeah.
all you get. Because if it takes you a third, it's
You're
nope.
taking too much time. Yeah.
Exactly. You've overthought it. You've polished the thing too
Mhm.
much. And now it's not going to resonate with anybody because it's not even
Totally.
genuine anymore. Yeah.
It's so true. No, it's and that's the problem, and this is why people get frustrated and they're like, "I don't have time for social media." Well, yeah, that's because you're making it like a production,
Correct.
and
Yeah.
it's not. It's
Yeah.
just it's you on the
Right.
internet. That's
Right.
it. Like,
Right.
don't overcomplicate it. It doesn't
Right.
need to be that serious. And that's people just yeah, they make it so
Way
complicated.
o and they forget too that, like, this was freedom for me is, like, someone's gonna watch this or they're not gonna watch it, and they're gonna
Mhm.
move on with their day because 'cause they're
Yeah,
gonna see 5,000 other things.
right.
So, maybe it resonated for a second, but they're also gonna forget about you, and that's great. Like, that's great.
And I mean, there you think that everyone that follows you is gonna see your video, and it's like
Yes.
only a small percentage are actually gonna
Correct,
see.
yep. Yeah,
So,
that's how yeah.
is your goal then to get more one-on-one, like, virtually?
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I don't know what the goal is yet. Like,
Okay.
I wanna have major impact is what I wanna do. Like, I just want people to find, um I want people to find out what they're capable of. Like, I want
Yeah.
people to ask the question and then have the question answered by themselves is the big thing there. So, whatever that leads to, yes. And obviously, you can't have impact without growth. So if that leads to more one-on-one where we can have real impact and deeper connection, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And I'm not going to say no to that, but
What are the ads, though, that you run? Is that
yep.
for
Yeah. So that'd be more like athletic style coaching. Yep.
oh, okay,
So
that's different than the 90 day.
sports performance stuff is what the ads that I run are. Yep. So if you're looking to compete, because I will coach people through their first 5K, which I think you and I are
Mm,
going to talk about later, and then um and then like ultra marathon running, those kind of things. I also work with one on one with athletes for sport. I don't like the term sport specific stuff because you're just training for life. But if a kid comes in for football, or I work with soccer athletes,
okay.
so yep.
So you work with, like, a lot of high school kids?
I work with a lot of high school kids, and then I'm also the strength and conditioning coach for our local junior college for the men's soccer team, the women's soccer team, and then the women's volleyball team. So
Okay,
yep, and
interesting.
they're it's an international program, so kids from all over the world are here. They do a great job of recruiting. Last year, we won the men's national championship for soccer, so like it's really high level.
So you know what? You should I just went to this event, and I don't know if you've already thought about this, but a lot of these like universities have a budget for speakers.
Yes. Oh
Is
yeah.
that have you tapped into this yet? Have you
Yeah. I've thrown some emails out there.
Okay.
So yep.
Yeah, we might have to talk more about that later because I want to learn more on how to get in with that
Yeah.
and just on the yeah, I mean, my niche is personal branding, but it's really like identity work and
Yes.
building your self worth. So,
Yeah. You lean more towards psychology than anything. Like
yeah,
that. Yeah, which is great.
but it you have to have that's the thing though with social media, and this is what I'm trying to shift for people because there's so much negativity around social
Mhm.
media being
Yeah.
toxic and bad for your mental health, and I understand why that is,
Yeah.
but it can be used for good if
Yes.
you are looking through the right lens
100.
and doing the things like you just said, do a 2 take and be done. If
Right.
you're overthinking it more than that, then you're getting into the dangerous place, and if you're consuming too much, then that can be dangerous as well.
Yeah, if you're looking for if that's your validation,
Mhm.
it's gonna fail you for sure. Like you can't be posting stuff thinking, and you've said this, thinking how many people are gonna like this, how many people are gonna
Mhm.
share this or follow me, or what am I gonna get for this? It's
Yeah,
all about life is all about being useful to others, service to others, and the more you can pour into that, the more you can help other people with their life, with whatever you're going through, or even if it has nothing to do with you, if you can just be useful to another human, do that because that benefit is 10x whatever you think you're going to get out of things if you go about it that way.
absolutely. I completely agree. So, okay, last question, before we wrap up. The gym, is there a way is do they I'm just thinking today, I would think they'd be trying to get business virtually as well. Does
Yep.
Is that what Anytime Fitness, do they have some type of
Yeah.
online thing
Yeah,
or no?
we do app training. Yep. So once you're a member here, you answer a questionnaire, and then on your phone it'll just build you programming,
Hmm,
and you can say my training predominantly at the gym or at home or a combination of both, and then it connects you to the coaches. So their technology is actually pretty great. Anytime somebody finishes a workout on the app, it goes right to whoever their assigned coach is, whether that be me or one of my trainers. So
so
we
let
know
me
right
ask
away.
you this. Is it possible that if people are following you online and they really like you, is it possible they can become a member of your Anytime Fitness and get
Uh,
training from you?
Yeah, that's tough. So they can join the gym, but wherever they use if they're going to use a facility, wherever they use that facility, the percentage of their key swipes goes towards that facility. So that facility gets
Oh,
paid. So um
okay.
it keeps that fair across the board. If somebody had a home gym or they wanted to join a gym, wherever they're at, they can do that, and then they can contact me and I can build them programming. We can work with them one on one, wherever they're at, whether that be a
Okay.
home gym or a different facility. You don't necessarily have to be an Anytime Fitness member. As long as you're doing something or you have access to some kind of equipment or even just your body weight, I
Yeah.
can program for you.
Okay. So there's multiple ways they can work with you. So they can do the self-paced 90-day no days off, which is like 20 some dollars, and or they can step it up a notch at that with a little bit of one-on-one and some
Yep.
guidance for $1,200.
Yep.
Or you can build out a fully customizable one-on-one meal
Okay.
plan, fitness,
Yeah.
the whole thing, and that just
Right.
depends on your specific needs.
Correct. Yep. So sports specific stuff. I mean, yeah, that varies. Could be anything from the $1,200 all the way up
Mhm.
to 5, 6 grand.
Yeah.
Like it depends on what you're looking for. Yep. But we'll go through all the details. I mean, I will. It's unreasonable to expect that you won't be a different human at the end of whatever programming we do. So
And you can truly help anyone. It's not
yes,
just athletes. Like, you could help the mom in Michigan or something.
that's
Like,
correct.
okay.
Yep.